Dr. Ed Zimmerman, the Dick Doc on TikTok, answering your questions about how many pokes and how many sessions. Well, man up, boys. It's like this. You're going to get 2 tiny little pinches that you'll barely feel between the ice and the topical numbing medicine to disconnect you from your auxiliary brain for 1 to 2 hours. After that, we can painlessly fill up your pickle. You'll gain between 1/4 and 3/4 of an inch of girth depending on what you brought with you. And that's based on what your parents gifted you in your genetics. So you can gain the girth, not have the pain, and you can always come back and do more if more is what you want. The Dick Doc on TikTok, answering your questions about pokes, sessions, and pickles.
The what, doctor? Guys, I thought we had seen it all with the cosmetic surgeries. We had the BBLs, the thread needles, the cat eyes. We got people extending their legs to be taller. And all of it has kind of became almost normal in our society. But recently, I've been going down a rabbit hole looking at the new cosmetic procedures that are going on right now. And this shit is getting out of hand. We're talking about procedures that sound like they came out of a freaking science fiction film. I mean, even the guys have their own levels of cosmetic surgeries now. And honestly, I'm here for it. Because if the girlies can get bigger titties, the guys can get some more girth. I've always been fascinated in the world of cosmetics. I've even had my own surgeries in the past. In this industry, I've noticed that things move lightning speed. Like, in 2 years, we'll have a new method of doing something and it'll be FDA approved, and it's kind of scary. Many things get normalized because of celebrities, such as the Kim Kardashians, and even some newer things that celebrities have been doing, like using Ozempic. Some of these things become a trend because of the celebrities. But nonetheless, today I will be exposing the surgeries that I was able to find on the internet. And some of these videos have doctors explaining what exactly it is. So buckle in your seatbelts because this is going to get really weird. So apparently this is a procedure called a vaginoplasty, and I'm not sure how new this procedure is, but basically it tightens up your... So this was very interesting to me because there's actually a couple ways that people go about doing this surgery. There's people that, experience the trauma of pregnancy and they want to, rejuvenate themselves. And then there's also people that just go through bottom surgery when they're transitioning from male to female and they get this surgery. And I also did find some doctors explaining what exactly a vaginoplasty is and some facts about it. So let's get into it.
Here are 3 surprising facts about vaginoplasty that you may not know. So first of all, when we are developing in the uterus, we all start out with the same parts, and depending on our chromosomes, they'll differentiate out into the male and female parts. So for example, the scrotum will become a scrotum in somebody with XY chromosome. In XX, typically the scrotum becomes the labia majora. The shaft of the penis in an XY individual becomes that, and it is the labia minora in somebody with 2 X chromosomes. So oftentimes when we're doing bottom surgery, we tend to try and reverse engineer this as much as possible and replace like with like. And what this often means is effectively the sensation should probably be about the same. We're preserving the nerves that are already down there. So in this way, it's a very elegant procedure. Surprising fact number 2 is for the majority of patients, this tends not to be the most painful procedure. Now, pain and perception of pain is a highly individualized thing, but I'm often surprised in our patients when we use our advanced techniques such as nerve blocks, and different medications to lower their pain. It's usually not too bad. Most of my patients go home on post-op day 2 or 3 after vaginoplasty. And surprising fact number 3 is the swelling and just how long this can last. I always say the genital area, it's a dependent area, meaning that you can't elevate it. Like if you hurt your hand, you can put it up on some pillows and get the swelling out of it. Can't really do that with the genital area. So swelling will last several months after bottom surgery, and this is to be expected, unfortunately.
Damn, swelling for a couple months? Hey, I bet it's worth it. I bet it's worth it. So I'm not mad. Learn something new every day. I love that. So next we're gonna dive into this really strange procedure that basically is the male version of the vaginoplasty. I've been hearing that men are getting bigger girths. Girth me out. Girth me out. Hey, girth me out. Hey, I don't know what that means, but it sounded good. Yeah, so apparently guys are increasing their girth. If you have a long stick, listen up.
Dr. Ed Zimmerman, the Dick Doc on TikTok, answering your questions about how many pokes and how many sessions. Well, man up, boys. It's like this. You're going to get 2 tiny little pinches that you'll barely feel between the ice and the topical numbing medicine to disconnect you from your auxiliary brain for 1 to 2 hours. After that, we can painlessly fill up your pickle. You'll gain between 1/4 and 3/4 of an inch of girth depending on what you brought with you. And that's based on what your parents gifted you in your genetics. So you can gain the girth, not have the pain, and you can always come back and do more if more is what you want. The Dick Doc on TikTok, answering your questions about pokes, sessions, and pickles.
He said what? The Dick Doc is crazy. I'll take Mr. Pickle Doc. But yeah, the guys are getting their bodies done too. And you know, I'm not upset. I'm not mad at it at all. I might have to send this video to my ex.
Dr. Ed Zimmerman, the Dick Doc on TikTok, answering questions about how much bigger will it get? How big around will it get? It depends on the individual's own anatomy. Remember, the penis is nothing but a cylinder, like a conduit that contains all the blood vessels, the urinary flow output, all those things are inside a conduit. Outside of that conduit is a potential space, and then the skin surrounds that. The material that we put in to provide girth all up and down the conduit has to fill the potential space between the inner conduit and the outer skin. So what your dimensions start out with when you begin and what they are when you end is individualized. That said, putting in a little bit at a time so we decrease risk but get girth has been very successful over the past 6 years, and pretty much we've got it down now. Lots and lots of happiness. This is the Dick Doc on TikTok, answering your questions about girth.
Happiness. Okay, so up next we have a topic that I really wanted to discuss because I personally got a breast augmentation and I love titties. So what I just discovered recently was that the FDA recently approved a 1000 cc silicone implant. 1000 cc's, by the way. And if you're a cosmetic girly or a guy, you know how major this is. They did say that it's only approved for reconstructive purposes, which makes sense because imagine a
Look at the size of these. These are the new Mentor breast implants, FDA approved for breast reconstruction. 1000+ cc's. The reason why we have implants that are these size now is because on certain women, we need sizes that actually look more proportional to them. One of the limitations in breast reconstruction is that you can use certain size implants that just won't look proportional to the person, even if you're using those large sizes. Now we have options that are even better.
I love that for them. I truly love that for them. Because it's not for strictly cosmetic purposes. It's going to be for reconstructive purposes. Which can be covered by insurance sometimes. So, applauding them for that. I'm really happy they made these bigger implants. I'm hoping that in 5 years they're gonna let other women use the 1000 cc's. I personally won't be going up that high, but you know, some bimbos may be into the vibe, and I'm excited to see. That's all I gotta say. So this video is basically gonna show y'all the difference in sizes, because I have 375 400 cc implants. So this one's gonna just show y'all how big the implants are, so you can get a really good estimate on like the actual reality of how big these implants are. Y'all, that's a big ass implant. I don't care what anybody says.
So I've got something really exciting to share with everybody, and that is this new implant by Mentor. It's enormous. It's 1445 cc silicone. It's indicated for reconstructive purposes. So that means, you know, if someone's had a mastectomy, and it is definitely filling a void in certain women who are just broader and they've completely lost a breast. And they just need this sort of volume, just even for a normal body breast proportion. So I just wanted to share how cool this is. I mean, it's so big. I mean, before the implant sizes used to go up to about 800. I don't have an 800 in the office, but this is 700, so you can see the difference. And I almost never use 700s anyway. And then just for comparison, I mean, this is an implant size that I use very frequently. And this is like a 480 high profile. And then this I never use. This is 175. Like, I don't know why you would use that. There's not really much of an indication for that. But this is just so cool, I think. So it's as big as my head. And it's pretty heavy. To get it in, it's a little bit more challenging. I mean, you need a longer incision. They're saying like 8 centimeters or 9 centimeters, and then using a killer funnel to propel it in there. But yeah, it's pretty fun.
Y'all, that thing was as big as her freaking head. It was literally as big as her head. She held that thing up and it was like her head. Y'all. And if you couldn't tell, the last video of the 800cc implant is a lower profile than the implant that we just saw, the 1400cc. That looked like a high profile implant, and the other 800 looked like a low profile implant. If you know, you know. I love cosmetic innovation. Okay, up next we have a very strange cosmetic procedure that I just started seeing on my feed. And basically, this is more popular in Asia. I don't even know if the practice is done in the United States, but some countries in Asia are doing something called the M-lip surgery. So this surgery basically takes a normal shaped lip it makes it look like that. So I found some pictures of this and I found some videos. I want y'all to take a look and see for yourself. Would you get an M lip flip? I doubt it, but let's see. I love peanuts, peanut 始まりさ男子男子男子みんなもピーナッツ町中華を目指してランチランチランチ I love peanuts 裸の付き合いして男子男子男子 Well, to be honest, I just find that kind of weird because her lips looked already M-shaped from the beginning. I thought her lips already looked like an M. Like, she just enhanced her M-ness. That's a lot of surgery to just... I don't know. But, y'all, look at this. Okay, so here's actually a before and after picture of what the procedure is supposed to do to the lips. As you can see, like, this person already has beautiful lips, but it makes them very, like, animated, you know? The results are so cute, I'm not gonna lie. You know, people out there love the look, and hell yeah. I have also seen some people that are doing this look with just filler. So, you know, some people are saying like, before I get the actual surgery and have it forever, let me see what it looks like with filler. And I think they actually do something like this in the UK and in Russia, but it's like a different style. They call it Russian lips. And they use the technique with like putting tape over the parts of the lips and stuff to make sure the filler doesn't migrate and stuff like that. But this right here is like the M lip look. This is what they all are looking for. And before we start, I do not condone any of this. I am simply just here to react to some of these videos. This video is solely for entertainment and educational purposes. Please do your own research. All of these are very risky procedures, and I do not want any of y'all getting hurt. So the next crazy procedure that we're about to get into is rib fracturing. That's right, fracturing ribs for a snatched waist. I have actually had a fat transfer to my hips, so I have been in the doll game for a while. I went to Dr. Jung and he ate it up. But when I was getting my surgery consultation and everything, I had heard that he brought in a new surgeon that actually has training to fracture ribs to give ladies a more snatched waist. I never thought this was a thing until I saw it for myself, and now it's your turn to see it as well. Let's get into it.
A very small number of people, in their pursuit of a slimmer waistline, choose to have some of their ribs removed to alter their skeletal structure, creating an extremely thin waist. However, this is an incredibly dangerous practice. Ribs are a critical part of the body's framework, providing essential protection for internal organs. Without this support, organs become more susceptible to compression, and the structural stability of the chest cavity is compromised. This reduces the ability of the lungs to fully expand during breathing, which in turn decreases respiratory efficiency.
Yeah, that's absolutely scary. But I did hear that, and don't quote me on any of this stuff, but I did hear that it's still safer than getting a BBL, is what I heard, but I have no idea if that's true or not. So it's definitely another day, but I wanted to come back to this video and just discuss that, you know, a lot of people think that cosmetic surgery is just for people looking to be over-exaggerated and unnatural, but as we saw in this video, there are a couple reasons why people go towards cosmetic surgery. You know, there are plenty of women that deal with things in their personal lives and they truly just want to look like themselves again. Like, it's okay to get stuff done to help with your confidence, and that's truly just what I wanted to say on here. You know, there's some good and bads with cosmetic surgery, so yeah, let people live their lives. So what do you think? Did you see anything that you thought was way too extreme for you? And if you did, let me know which surgery that was down in the comments below. And if you did like this video, please make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. And remember that you are absolutely gorgeous, and don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Thank you all so much for watching. Bye, friend.